let's look at lesson 7.6. We just had the backside to do, right? Okay. Okay. So let's work at that, and then you can have some work time to work on the Math Excel. Okay. So we were working on exponential functions, right? We talked about how to know if a table is an exponential function or not. We talked about how to know if an equation is. And now we're going to graph them. Now, I've kind of got a hint set up for you here, right? Because I've got an XY chart here. And that's my suggestion is if you don't know how to graph something, set up an XY chart. And I'm going to suggest that we use -2 through +2. Now, shall we start with the easier ones? Let's start at the positive end. Let's start at the positive end of this. If we put in 2, or if x is 2, what does that mean I do here? If x is 2, where do I put into the equation?
3 to the second.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing y equals 3 to the second. And what is 3 to the second? 9. Okay, so I started us at the easier end. Do the same thing with 1. What's 3 to the first? What? 3. Somebody said it sounded like you said 30. I was like, wait, what? Okay. Now, we did this day 1 of this chapter. Anything raised to 0 power is 1. Good. Okay. I saved this for the end. How do we deal with a negative?
I would say -3.
No.
+3.
No. We've got a rule. How do we get rid of a negative exponent? We throw it to the bottom. His words, not mine. So if we throw it to the bottom, it's going to become 1 over 3 to the positive first. But 3 to the first is just 3. So we have the fraction 1 over 3. What about -2? Okay, 3 to the -2, we throw it to the bottom. 1 over 3 to the +2, which is 1/9. Okay, so I would always encourage you guys, do the XY charts. Okay. Okay. Next question is, do we remember how to graph?
Kind of.
Okay. Remember, x-axis is the horizontal axis. Y-axis is the
Straight down.
up and down vertical axis. So an ordered pair, let's go ahead and let's start the other. Let's go in the reverse order again. 2, 9 will be easier than dealing with the fractions and negatives. So what's 2, 9 mean?
Go over 2, up 9.
Over 2, up 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm not opposed to going off a graph if we have to. Yeah, just a little bit, you know. Okay?
But not too far up.
Exactly. Yep. And notice I did try and space it out, so it's about where, if this graph was bigger, a 9 would be. 1, 3.
Over 1 up 3.
Over 1 up 3. What about 0, 1?
Just up 1.
Yeah, yep. Left to right, 0, up 1. Perfect. Okay. -1, 1/3.
Over to the left, 1 up 3. Or down 3.
No. So I agree we're going to go left 1, but then it's 1/3. So that means we're going to go 1/3 of a box.
I didn't do that.
Yeah.
That's probably where I got confused.
Okay, so 1/3 just means 1/3 of a box, okay? We're going to go, last time we went up 1 whole box. 1/3 is less than that, so we're going to only go up 1/3 of a box. And you're just estimating there. And then -2, 1/9.
Over 2 and 1/9.
Left 2, and this time we're going up 1/9 of a box.
Almost the top of that.
Yeah. So I'm going up barely any. Okay, so this is an exponential function. I'll draw it and then I'll explain it. Now, officially, when you draw this, your graph should be running alongside the x-axis, but it's not going to cross it. Yep. So officially, the x-axis is acting as it's what's called an asymptote, but it just means we run alongside of it, we never cross it or touch it. And then this side is going up way high to what I would call infinity. Yep, this one keeps going infinitely off to the left, this one keeps going infinitely up. You got it. Okay, so as long as you have the XY chart, a graph like that is not horrible. Okay, you ready for the next one? As ready as we're going to get, right? So, negative of 1/2 to the x. Now, I don't know. I think I'll still go ahead and start down with the positive 2 exponent. I'm not saying we have to, but okay, so if I put the 2 in, 2 is going to go in place of the x. So it's the negative of 1/2 to the second. So what does that power of 2 tell me to do?
You can make it 2/4.
Half right. Half right on the 2/4. Because if we're doing 1/2 times 1/2. 1 times 1 is 1. And then don't forget there is a negative out front. Since this negative is out front, it's not in with the 1/2. It's just going to keep my answer negative. So this is a negative 1/4. Okay. What about the exponent of 1? Yeah. Negative of 1/2 raised to the first. Well, 1/2 raised to the first is 1/2. Times the negative or negative of that is going to be negative 1/2. Okay. What about the negative of 1/2 raised to 0? Anything raised to 0 is 1. Now, notice that 0 just goes on the 1/2. So it's going to be negative 1. Negative of 1/2 to the negative first. Oh, I should have scooted that over. I'm going to scoot that over so I have room to write what it equals. So it's the negative of 1/2 to the negative first. So how do we deal with the negative exponent? Well, the negative exponent here. You take it to the bottom, right? Now, since this is already a fraction, the easiest thing to do is to just flip it upside down. So that means it's still going to be negative out front, but now it's going to be, instead of 1/2, 2/1. And now instead of having a negative exponent, it's a positive exponent. So 2/1 is what whole number? Just 2. 2 raised to the first is 2. The negative of that makes it negative 2. And one more. Negative of 1/2 raised to a negative second. So negative, and this time it's going to be, instead of 1/2, 2/1. Now it's raised to the positive 2. Yep. 2/1 is 2. 2 squared is 4. The negative of that is negative 4. Yep. Okay, so we're going to have a similar shape of graph, but it's just going to be facing different directions. So if we graph negative 2, negative 4 is going to be Left 2 and where?
Down 4.
Negative 4 is going to be down 4. Negative 1.
Over down 2.
Left 1, down 2. 0, negative 1.
Just stay there.
Yep. Left or right 0, down 1. 1, negative 1/2.
Right in the middle.
Right 1 and then down half a box, so right in the middle, yep. And then 2, negative 1/4. Right 2.
Down 1/4.
1/4 of a box, which I know those are hard to tell what they really are. Okay. Your graph should look something like that. The negative is what made this be upside down, so it's under the x-axis instead of on top of it. And the 1/2, being a small number, is what made it flip and go off to the right instead of off to the left. Okay. So, Math Excel, you'll probably be doing more multiple choices. They might have you fill in a number,
I hate doing graphs because
XY chart, but
eventually it's hard for me to do graphs on Math Excel.
yeah. Well, and when you do the test, it will be paper and pencil, and I'll give you a review worksheet that will have, like the setup of what I'll be expecting. Okay?
I'm better on paper and pencil.
Well. And that's what my tests and quizzes and stuff will be, is paper and pencil.